So, um, before I took a little break, I mentioned that I have a plan. I've starting to cook up a concept for a diorama, some kind of project, what I would describe as a more involved project. I would say the last project that was a bigger project for me was The Witch. It didn't start off with the intention of being a large project, it just sort of worked out that way. Um, and now, this past month, I've been sort of recuperating in a sense, doing smaller projects and kind of waiting for inspiration for another larger project to take hold, some kind of idea, and this is going to be a part of it. In addition to something that I had bought earlier, which is this, the Gym Sniper Canine. If you guys are seeing some kind of theme here, we've got two Gym Snipers. This one is, of course, from Build Fighters, and this is from Gundam 0080. How do you pronounce that? Sorry if my noobishness is showing. I don't know how to pronounce that properly, but Warren Pocket. And so the idea is the big old idea, the big old concept that I have for now is that I want to create a kind of sniper diorama with two opposing factions shooting at each other from a distance. Now, you might think to yourself, that sounds a little bananas, that sounds a little crazy. How does one do that? And we'll get into that in a second. The other thing I wanted to mention is I realize that these are models from not necessarily the same universe. The intent, Eshwin across the battlefield, yeah, exactly. The intent is actually to do something where we're going to use those models as the basis for my own kind of concept, for my own kind of scene, which isn't tied to anything in particular in terms of like a scene within the anime, right? So we're going to be very free, in other words, to explore something unique, something original, if that makes any sense. Full of 40 Machina Krieger robot corpses with dry ice and ruins. It's gonna put a stop to that right now, Eshwin. Explore our feelings, exactly, Joe. We're exploring our feelings through Gunpla. We're expressing our true selves with Gunpla. Yeah, Eshwin is shooting for the moon here. I'm gonna scale it back because I'm a regular human being with a limited budget, a limited amount of time, and it's very good to have ambitions with your project. But I definitely have learned that in the past is to scale things back. And I know you're actually being, you're just kind of joking around here, but I want to just make that clear. So let's see, let's draw. I'm gonna do some drawing, guys. So I'm gonna call this diorama right now. Hello, Joe, by the way. How are you today? Hope you're doing well. I'm gonna call this Sniper Dio Project. This is the start, guys. The Sniper Dio Project. Joe, still sick, but did some gunpla building and bashing. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, and Carmi's sick with something too. I got sick like 2 weeks ago. Just going around. My Pokemon game came early. Well, there you go, Joe. Get all cuddled up and play your Pokemon game. So precious. So precious, you're gonna pick your Pokemon? Which one are you gonna pick first? Are you gonna pick the fire one or the leaf one? I kid. But I actually adore Pokemon. I recently, not too long ago, built the Gengar model kit. And yeah, Pokemon is cool in my books. I kid. So here, for those that did not see, I picked up Gym Sniper K9. This was like a couple weeks back. Bought that when I was back in the big city. I was back in the T dot, which I actually don't like saying it that way. I was back in Toronto. And then I got this today, the Gym Sniper 2. And we're cooking up the diorama, Sniper Dio project. Now, the concept is a sniper battle. Sniper battle. Can we zoom in? That looks schmexy. Let's zoom in a bit so you guys can actually see what I'm writing. Let's get some light here. But here's the challenge. How to convey distance. Right? Because it's a diorama. And we only have so much space. Because I'm not going to build a frickin' huge, long expanse and have two opposing models on either side, right? And I'm going to solicit your guys' help. Like, please help me here. I have a one question in mind. I do have with regards to this challenge. I have a solution. So here, let us draw a very primitive sort of setup for these models, and I'm not really gonna look at how they look. So you're getting the full force of my scuffed painting here, drawing here. I see that Eshwin has mentioned forced perspective. I will not be doing that, but that is actually a pretty good idea. I'll show you what the plan is, and I think it's going to be a fun one. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. It's possible someone has done this before, but let's just do it. Let's just do it and see how this turns out. You guys love this? You guys loving this? So that's the one sniper, and then we're gonna have another sniper standing up and doing the same thing. I do, as primitive as this is, doing these sketches, I find that it does help at least work out the kinks and solidify my concept ever so slightly, just a little bit, and it's always fun kind of going back to these very primitive drawings and then seeing the final product and just to say, like, this is where it started, this was the genesis, and look how far we come, baby, look how far we've come. So this is the idea. We've got these two sniper dig that I'm drawing it out. Yeah, I've done this in the past with some other models and concepts. I don't think I have them here in my sketchbook because I did them on scrap paper, but I've done this in the past, and it's actually really helpful for me to kind of just get a sense of how we start and how we get along, you know? And I want you guys to really use your imagination here. This is rubble, and this is ruins, okay? And the idea is to have maybe like a larger piece of rubble here that maybe he would prop his gun on. A large piece, something like that, all right? And this is the one part of the diorama, because here's the gimmick, guys. Here's the gimmick that we're gonna show the distance. And this is the juice. This is the thing that I have got going on, because it's actually two dioramas, and this is actually a book. These are bookends. So not only are we making a diorama, we're making a piece of functional furniture, something functional. It's not simply a statue, but it's actually going to be bookends. So I want you to imagine then here's a smaller scale version of the diorama. Got the two guys like this, maybe even a third guy like that. And then we've got books. And the books create the distance, right? Like on your bookshelf, however many books that you've got, right? And then on the other end would be the opposing sniper. The opposing sniper, and that's the concept. And that's how we do this diorama. It's not simply a diorama, but it's a bookend. It's Bacon. How's it going, Bacon? How are you today? My regards to your family. We don't have to get into the details, but someone had a birthday, and someone in my family had a birthday. It was very nice. We just found out that we had celebrating 2 birthdays. But yes, so here's the question I have for you guys. For anyone here that's a Gundam expert, help me out, pals. Still at the restaurant, trying to finish the last bit of food while typing. Like, nom nom nom. Well, I want to type. Nom 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 nom. I want to eat and typing. Focus on your food. Chew on your food, Bacon. So for anyone here, gunpla expert, help me out here. Who should be the opposing sniper? What is a good model? I know there's a number of good HGs out there. Like there's like a Zaku sniper. I'm totally fine with getting that. Is there another option here? What can we do to get the other? Who will be the enemy sniper or snipers? Because we could have more than one. I don't know how to draw the Zaku, but he's got a big old gun, right? Big sniper rifle. He's holding it. I'm getting lazy now. Pardon me. As we draw them. I don't know what this pose is. This doesn't seem feasible. Actually, there we go. There we go. I don't know. Just drawing off the top of my head. But yes. Not Slide, you asked if there were MGs for the sniper. There are several. Okay, yeah, well, I'm interested in seeing those. This project here is an HG project, just to clarify. And Joe is saying Dynamis. Let me write these down, just so that I can... Dyanmes? As far as a counter sniper. Or Dynamis, sorry. So you guys are both on the same wavelength. It's a counter sniper. Not Slide. Do you know... Do you want lore or no lore? So, with the models that I have presently, they're not actually from the same universe, right? So we are kind of playing it fast and loose in that regard. But whatever feels right, you know what I mean, guys? Whatever seems right. Like, it shouldn't, like... We're not going to have unicorn here, for example, right? We want to keep this... The mood here is supposed to be very realistic, very grounded. Do you know what I mean? That's the idea. Not Slide, if you can find HG Camphor, that's the lore combatant. Alright, I think I may have even seen that at the store, possibly. Camphor. I know how that looks. And we could very well get... yeah, okay. We'll write that down. Not Slide. Dynamis is the only other straight-up sniper. I know that there's Zaku snipers. What are you guys' thoughts on those? There's like I've seen at least 2, I think, Zaku snipers. And that was kind of the route that I was gonna go. Again, we're kind of just looking for what feels right. regular gym sniper, but for Bacon, the idea is that, you know, like the gyms would be on this side, and then on this side would be something else. You know what I'm saying? Like a Xeon thing, possibly. I mean, I could have a gym sniper painted up to look like the enemy or something. We could get into that. We're just you know, we're just throwing out ideas here, guys. Marasai. I'm gonna look at all of these guys. I might have to do this a little later, because we're gonna raid Eddie very soon. But this is just kind of wrapping up. But what, like, yeah, well, let's see. It's not exactly a sniper, but you could also consider the Buster. What is that called? Like, is that just what it's called, Buster? Buster Gundam? I might have a third model here. Two is good. Three is possibly better, but I'm not really fully committed to that. I need to think about that more. I presently have 2, and they have like the Gym Sniper K9 has the K9, of course, and there's the Zaku, or some kind of opposing enemy. But yeah, this is the idea. It's the little kind of unique spin that I'm doing here, guys, for this diorama, is that it's not simply a diorama, it's a bookshelf. It's actually a functional bookshelf. And that's the gimmick, you know, in terms of conveying a sense of space. Ah, Night Trap, Lightning Gundam, which you have, right, Night Trap? Lightning Gundam. Yeah, can I borrow that real quick? Lightning Gundam, because he's all about. And that's actually another thing too, guys, is that we can, you know, for this side, we could get something and buy like an extra add-on pack to make a sniper rifle. Like, as I said, this is a project that's going to be a fairly long project, a fairly big project, so we're going to take our time. And it's not going to be finished anytime soon, to be honest. And I got to think about the logistics of getting everything done, and I got to think about what I need to get, and I got to think about all of this stuff. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things, and so this is the idea, this is the ambition, and I think this concept alone is kind of doable. Hopefully, famous last words. I think we can at the very least do something along these lines. And it's the finer details, the finer points, how much more work we're gonna put into it to do it. Night Trap, I can have the gun. You didn't paint it. Okay. So yeah, the gun. As I said, that's an option, is to make something from scratch and really create like a custom scenario. And one thing that I also think is kind of cool is if we do this urban setting, as you can see here, this is like an urban setting. Oh, sorry guys, the camera's kind of closed in, but yeah, in the art it's an urban setting. Even here with the Gym Sniper's K9, it's an urban setting. Sorry guys, it's a little too close. Too close for comfort. But that will also echo the look of books, right? The books then become almost like an extension of the diorama, such that they almost convey the feeling of more buildings. You know, that's my artsy-fartsy side talking there. That's the idea, guys. I mean, hopefully you guys kind of see where I'm coming from. Hopefully it's not lame. I think it might be fun. I think it's kind of doable.